Hi, I'm Michael Hernandez, and after following every single rainbow this month, I have found a lot of things, but a pot of gold was not one of them. Welcome to Rumble Book Club. I'm your host, Michael Hernandez, and this is the show where a normal guy like me can talk about interesting books I've read, old and new, good and bad. So if you like the show, you like the books that I'm talking about, or maybe I just have a punchable face, whatever keeps you clicking. You can follow me on YouTube or Rumble, Parler, or Twitter. And more importantly, share the videos and talk about them. Comment. Let me know if there's any books that you want me to cover or any charities you'd like me to recognize during the videos. So today I want to take a look at a biography that I think was done very, very well. It taught me a lot. Not just about the person, but the industry that they helped build at that time. So today we're going to take a look at the book Mercury by Lesley-Ann Jones. So this is about the life and the journey of Queen singer and songwriter Farouk Bulsara, otherwise known today famously as Freddie Mercury. So let's get into our three-part critique of the book. So taking a look at it now, we have a simple cover with a black and white photo of Freddie, which is very modest and reveals more of the man behind his flamboyant public persona. The text isn't very busy. You've got Mercury, you've got the kind of the subtitle here, then you've got the author. Not too busy, not too many colors, and the black and white definitely allows the name, the famous name we all know and love, Mercury, to really pop. Does a fantastic job on the cover. It's a good size for a hardback of this depth. I think it's well done, and even on the back you've got this iconic picture of him at Wembley Stadium. Great job with the aesthetics, definitely strong, 10 out of 10. Now let's look at the readability. It reads pretty smooth, with Jones providing a very fluid combination of narration, interviews, history, and culture. Now, if you're not a rock fan or a music fan at all, it's just not your thing. You might not breeze through it as quickly as most other people. But if you even have a passing interest in the music industry at all, you're going to come across the name Queen, which means by default you're going to come across the name Freddie Mercury, which means this book will hold your interest in some way, shape, or form. The pages are a tiny bit bright. As far as their coloration, you might want to read it more in dim lighting, not so much direct sunlight, but the clear text definitely helps. And there is a great photo bank that does kind of bring to life a lot of the words. A lot of his story does help tie into it. And it does show off a little bit of his personality. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and Jones very much does pick the right pictures. So as far as the readability goes, definitely a very strong 8 out of 10. Now let's jump into the content. You learn about his childhood, his family background. You learn that he was of Indian descent and of a very traditional family, and how that was a bit of a source of tension for him, a kind of a launching pad that made him really want to rise above. You learn about his earnest love life and his passion and drive to become a musician and a Renaissance man, not just a good singer. He didn't want to be someone that just picked up the mic, jumped on the stage, and became a very good singer. What he wanted to be was someone of enormous artistic talent. He wanted to be a fantastic lyricist. He learned how to play the piano and the guitar in order to better write songs, better craft them, to be clever with the language, the use, the flow of the song. He wanted to be a very good designer of the costumes he wore on stage, the costumes they came out with. He was precise in the way he wanted the music to look and feel like. The way the albums were to look. He had quite a talented hand in drawing their logo, which combines a lot of symbolism and creative imagery. That was actually his hand. He did that. So you also learned that he was very quick thinking, very charismatic. He was able to take these small nuances of the stage and make them his own. He was able to feed off the crowd and have the crowd feed off him and create kind of this dialogue in the way he moved and spoke and sang and volleyed with the crowd that made him something very, very unique, in addition to his enormous talent. On top of that, or should I say below that, he was also very shy and very self-conscious. That's something that maybe not a whole lot of people that Love Queen might have realized before reading this book. He was very shy, very self-conscious, and despite his much televised and storied antics, Jones brings you into his personal life and how he was actually a very sensitive man who understood his vocal power and used it to excel, but also struggled to fully know his cultural power. He had this ability to wield the strength and the excitement of an audience and build this pillar of unfathomable strength that kind of bolstered the shyness that he had. One thing that really popped out to me from the book was the amount of drive he had, not just to craft his talent to become a Renaissance man, but also to stay fit. He hit this kind of fitness phase towards the 80s, building into the 90s, where he got really fit, really strong. He was actually a bit of a manly man, and he had a unique physical aspect in his anatomy. That was something I didn't know until reading this. He had extra incisors, and it created this extra space in his mouth that kind of opened up a little bit more of his range. And at one point I believe at several points, he was approached about whether or not he was open to having a dentist actually fix that, to take those incisors out, and he actually was very much against that. And I've spoken to my wife, who knows quite a bit about music. She's a music teacher, as well as others who actually agree with that sentiment, that any change in that cavity in your mouth can actually alter the very way the sound is able to project, or the way it reverberates. So that was actually something really interesting that I learned. I think it's a great book. You learn a lot about the man. You learn actually a bit about the band, the culture, the way this band really made a crash into the music industry, into rock music itself. I think it's a fantastic book. I found this book at Barnes & Noble. You should still be able to find it. If not, you can go online, go to Amazon, go to eBay. It has my full recommendation. Again, the book is Mercury by Lesley-Ann Jones. Go out and get yourself a copy. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and go read something.